Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am currently sitting at home having just finished my 4th day of virtual learning because we are currently on lockdown 3, which is very fun, something which I very much enjoy. And I just thought I'd make a quick video talking about how I am structuring my days and structuring my time during the lockdown, because I know that is a big thing that people kind of struggle with, is getting into routine and keeping a routine when we are stuck inside like this. So to be fair, my school have started doing live lessons, which they didn't do in the first lockdown. So a lot of the things keeping me in routine are the fact that I'm having Teams calls literally all day. But there are also some things which I'm doing, which, hopefully I just want to help you guys maintain your routines for both, productivity, motivation, but also for your mental health, because I do think that sticking to a routine can be really good for your mental health. So the first thing I do is I set myself an alarm for the same time every morning, and I make sure not to snooze it, because otherwise you're not keeping that routine. You got to stick to it if you're going to set an alarm. So I have form time at 8:30, and my mum, she's still going into work physically. She can't work from home. My mum leaves at 7:30, so I set my alarm for 7:30. So I wake up, have the house to myself, morning routine, get some breakfast, brush my teeth, have a shower, just all of the stuff I do in that hour before form time. And then I'll join the Teams call. But if you don't have a Teams call, just make sure you sit down by your workspace and just be ready to learn at a certain time, just a little bit before school starts. Don't try and get there last minute. So I always, if I don't have a lesson before, I always like to be at my Teams call. I don't join it, but be at my Teams call 5 minutes before the start of the lesson. Make sure you keep everything with you, keep everything organised. So I have, my notebook, I have all of my stationery, I have a bottle of water. It's all right next to me where I'm studying, and I'm currently balancing my phone on my laptop, which is set up. I have all my textbooks next to me, I have all my folders next to me. Just make sure you have everything with you at your workspace, because it really stops you from, getting a bit disorganised or having to run and go get something because a teacher has asked you to unmute, or a teacher is asking you to submit some work instantly and you don't have a chance. So if you're not having live lessons, I think a lot of people are having live lessons now. I think, at least for primary school, I think the government are forcing them to. So I don't know how that's working for secondary school. To be honest, I don't want to read the news anymore. It makes me miserable. I do still try and read it, but it makes me miserable. So I do avoid it a little bit. Anyway, what was my train of thought? Oh yeah, if you don't have live lessons, still try and follow your school timetable. Something my teachers always said to do was wear your uniform. I wouldn't do that. You're at home, you want to be comfy, but I would still recommend getting dressed or getting changed, just because it helps you get into more of a mindset you're meant to be working. So right now I'm just wearing some random jumper that I got online, and just make sure you get ready for the day. It makes it feel like you're still actually doing something rather than just being sat at home, and it gives what you're doing a little bit more meaning. Something I will say is I'm currently year 13 and our exams have been cancelled. What fun times. So it can feel a little bit like what you're doing is not worth it, but I just want to remind you that what you're doing is still worth it, because learning can be fun. If you enjoy what you're doing, you can make it fun. So just try and become interested in what you're doing. I don't know, that's bad advice, because I'm not really telling you how to do anything. I sound like Aristotle when he's like, oh, increase the virtues, and then he doesn't tell you how to do that. Just use your phronesis, practical wisdom. A-level RS students, year 13s will get that reference. Okay. But yeah, try and follow your school timetable. Make sure you do try and get ready, just because it makes you feel a little bit more productive. Set yourself an alarm in the morning, and also try and set yourself a bedtime. So I go to bed, I've been saying 10:30. So usually when I'm in school, I will go to bed at 9 and I will get up at 5:45. But in lockdown, I go to bed at 10:30 and I wake up at 7:30. And still, I'm getting a consistent sleep pattern there, because I think if you get out of the sleep pattern, it can be really bad for you. Please don't do that. I say that having completely messed up my sleep cycle during the Christmas holidays and having to bring back from going to sleep at 5 a.m. and getting up at 12. Sorry, I'm just checking UCAS track. I don't think I'm going to have anything on there. Make sure you do give yourself breaks. So I realised one of my biggest issues during the first lockdown was that I wasn't giving myself a break. I was just working all day, every day, because we were getting set PowerPoints, and I had nothing controlling how long I spend on each lesson. So I might end up spending like 3 hours on RS and then 2 hours on English and then completely forgetting about sociology. Actually, it was rare. I usually did most time on sociology. But basically what I'm saying is make sure you're spending the right amount of time learning. Don't overwork. Give yourself a break. Break and lunchtime is really important. Make sure you're still eating 3 meals a day. I want to know that you're all eating breakfast, lunch and dinner, maybe with some snacks in between. After I finish recording this, I'm going to go get some lunch personally. And make sure that the food you're eating is worth it. Don't just be eating like a bar of chocolate for lunch. That is not a good lunch. I want you eating something more substantial and more balanced. Wow, I'm not a nutritionist. Go for a walk if you can. I personally haven't, because I can't be bothered to leave my house. I haven't left the house in 3 weeks and I don't plan to leave it anytime soon. But go for a walk. Go somewhere nice. Get some fresh air. Make sure you're socially distanced. Protect the NHS. Save lives. I'm really in a weird mood today. I've had way too much coffee. That's another thing. Don't have too much coffee. I find when I'm at home, I just sit there and I chug like 3 coffees and then I get into a weird mood. So maybe don't do that. Maybe balance your coffee. That might be a good idea. I think my basic tips for just being productive over lockdown 3, Shrek ever after, is so have everything set up in one workspace. Make sure your workspace is tidy, organised and has everything you need. Try and keep into a routine with your waking up and going to sleep. Make sure you're eating 3 meals a day and make sure that food is substantial, not a Scotch egg. Michael Gove, Scotch egg is not a substantial meal. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't have too much caffeine like I am. Try and get dressed if you can, just because it really gets you into that mindset. If you have teams lessons, make sure you attend them like don't join them early. I think that's really awkward because you're just alone with the teacher, but just be at your computer 5 minutes before, just so then you're not late. Make sure you are still keeping up with homework and revision and all of that jazz. Even if you're in year 13 like me and exams have been cancelled, revising just still gives you something to do, and you've got to bear in mind we might still have internal assessments to help us with our CAGs, so just keep acting as though it were a normal school day, normal school year. Something my friends and I did is we used to do Zoom calls, and to be fair, my social battery has been at 0. I haven't really been joining them, but we were doing Zoom calls at lunch, and I do think something like that is a really good idea, just to make sure you are still being sociable, again for your mental health. I'm not saying have quiz nights, because I know how much we hate those, and I'm not going to say go bake banana bread, because we remember how old that joke is, honestly. I never baked banana bread, by the way. Finding hobbies or something is still a good thing though. So I discovered knitting in my first lockdown, and now I've recently got into sewing, and I am currently making a little makeup bag, and it's just really fun to be doing all of this crafting. And I definitely would recommend finding those hobbies, or finding something to read as well in the evenings. This is just general life advice now. Wow, me giving life advice. It's not a good idea. My life's a mess. But essentially, yeah, that is my advice for staying organised in lockdown 3. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. If you want to see something next, I'm currently doing some revision for the equality topic in RS, because I did have some people ask me to make some teaching videos on that, but then when I was preparing the content, I realised that I am quite weak on that topic as well. So I will get that out at some point. I am still working on it. Don't worry, I have not forgotten. And it's the same, someone asked for a video on utilitarianism. Again, I'm still working on that. But yeah, I will see you in the next video. I wish you all the best of luck with lockdown 3. We all love it. It's just what we want to see. I'd also like you guys to put your predictions of how long do you think this lockdown is going to last, because I know they're saying February, but this is the UK government. It's not going to last till February. I reckon. I don't know if we're going to go back to school. I think if we do, it won't be till April. But this is just my predictions. I'm not a fortune teller, but I just know from the first lockdown when they said, oh, it's just going to be an extended half term, and then we didn't go back. I feel like it's going to be a similar thing, especially, oh sorry, my stomach's rumbling, especially with the vaccination targets. I'm not sure they're going to get them in time. But let me know what you think. Maybe we can look back in a few months and see how that goes. Anyway, if you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.